Wow, it sure is really cold outside. So today we're Christmas Eve. It's 5 degrees Fahrenheit or minus 15 degrees Celsius. Brrr, very cold. So, as I promised, we're going to make our Arachnotour video for December of 2011, just before the New Year's. So I'm going to warn you, my lighting is not going to be the greatest because I had to go Christmas shopping early this morning and it took longer than I expected and I was kind of getting pissed off. But anyways, I hope I bought them lovely gifts for my cousins and hope they like them. So, yeah, we'll get started and hope you like it. And then after I have a good game that I'm going to be playing for Christmas, then I'll be posting it on YouTube. It's very, very Christmassy and very festive. I know you'll just like it. So, 130 teas. Let's get started. I'm going to be organizing it into two parts. So the first part is going to be dealing with all the Old World specimens that I have. And the second part is going to be all the New World terrestrials and arboreals that I have. So the main differences between an Old World and a New World are the regions. New Worlds come from the 3 American continents as discovered by Christopher Columbus in 1491 to 1492. Most of them don't have very significant venom in terms of medical significance. They are generally recommended for the beginner to the experienced, with experience being the Theraphosa sturmi. And they do have urticating hairs, with exception to most of the arboreal genus except the Poecilotheria, which do have urticating hair. And the Old World specimens, they come from elsewhere, Africa, Asia, Europe, in case of C. gracili, which I don't have, and Australia. So these specimens do not have urticating hair. They are a lot more defensive, and they have medically significant venom. So no way do I recommend the teas in this video to be recommended for the beginner. So without further ado, let's get started with the terrestrials. Alright, so to start off with my African species, really nothing to see here because they're pet holes. So I have Carmela. She is my OBT female, around 3.5, 4 inches. I have Star here. She's a 4.5 inch mature female Terrestrial lagardi, the fort-hall baboon. And I have Nerissa, which is now a P. lagardi, not a P. cordatus. This is also the fort-hall baboon. When she molted, I looked at the specimen and it screamed P. lagardi because they don't have these abdominal patterns and the carapace patterns that the original P. cordatus should have. Alright, here's some more terrestrial baboons. This one here is my Monocentropus lambertoni, the Madagascar lambertenste, 5-inch female named Naburu. As you can see, she's not very happy with me at the moment. And here's Marcia, my adult female Ceratojaris marshalli, the straight-horned baboon. Another Old World that comes from Africa is my Idiops species, black trapdoor. Really nothing to see, it's just a patch of dirt, but we do see him a lot in the feeding videos. Oops, I actually forgot this one to include. Is a Poecilotheria muticus, the king baboon. This is Alice, a 2-inch, 3-inch female. Where is she? Yeah, I can see just barely a leg. Yeah, she's a burrower. Alright, so here are some more baboons, but these are all arboreal. I only have the 2 popular ones, the h.maculata, only one, and 4 of them are h.maculata, the Togristarpus baboon. So here's Libby. She's my 4.5 inch female. Here's Dementia, also an h.mac. There's my other one. This is an adult female. She's approximately 5.5 inches, named Grashina. And I have Gordon, who is another one. I'm hoping this one might be a male. This one's about an inch sling that I got from PDM 89 2 years ago. Somewhere there. And this one here is Darcy. She is the h.maculata, the feather-leg baboon. And she's growing really quickly. She's right now about 1.5 inches, close to the 2-inch mark. Right, now moving on to the Australian species. Number 11 and 12 make up my 2 Selenocosmia species that I have. This one here is Nicole, who is my 4-inch female Selenocosmia crassipeeps, which is known as the Queensland whistling tarantula. Got to be more specific because Australian whistling tarantula is very ambiguous, so got to put the regions in. And this one here is my New Guinea black femur, Selenocosmia dichromata. It's over there, it's a bed hole. So that's pretty much all the Australian species I have. Now, a lot of them are going to make up the Asians, because I have a lot of those. Alright, so these 3 make up my Asian terrestrials that really don't have very much. But here's Midna. She is my Haplopalma lividum, cobalt blue. I have here Ophelia, who's a very defensive Orthnoctonus oritabalius. I have a Thailand fringe. Very unique species. Can be carried exactly like a Haplopalma, so you'll see that in a future Mythbuster video. And one we don't really see very often is Alyssa. I updated her about 2 weeks ago when my unfortunate passing of the Choco Goldney mature male. It's a 4.5-inch female Haplopalma Minax, the Thailand black, and she's over there. Totally forgot these ones. These also are my Asian terrestrials. Totally overlooked these. Here I have a 1/2-inch Chilobrachys fimbriatus, which is the Indian violet. Yeah, it's probably in her burrow. And we have this one here, Chilobrachys guanaceensis, the Chinese fawn, female, named Julin. And there she is, very defensive and very fast too. Alright, so now we'll go on to arboreals. So the majority of the Old World arboreals are all Poecilotheria species, but these are non-pokies. I have here Lampropalma valosiopes, Singapore blue. It's about a 1-inch sling and a 2-inch. You know, it's very hard to see. Yeah, my light's not the greatest, but this one here is a Syrigopacus shoidi, the Malaysian tiger, Adrian. You see her? And there she is. Alright, 433, and we're not even cracked the surface yet. Alright, so now the big collection of all my arboreals are all the pokies. And these are all the ones that are available in the hobby. So I'll start off with the Poecilotheria bara, the ivory lowland ornamental. So this is Charmaine. Looks pretty nifty. Here I have a pair of Poecilotheria fasciata, the Sri Lankan ornamental. This one here is a juvenile male. And this is a little sling that I got from the expo, which I'm hoping this one is a suspect female, because I don't know. Number 18, Poecilotheria formosa, the Salem ornamental. 5-inch female named Salem. Very pretty poke. A very rare pokey. This one here is a Poecilotheria hanuma-villasimica, the Ramesh worm ornamental. Number 20, Poecilotheria metallica, the Goody sapphire ornamental. Mia, she's a 3.5-inch confirmed female. Here's a 5-inch female Poecilotheria Miranda, the Bengal spotted ornamental. I named her Miranda. T number 22, behind closed doors, is my lovely 7.5, 8-inch female Poecilotheria ornata, the fringed ornamental. She's just huge. I'm not opening up the cage because she's probably going to go out and escape. And to show you that it's a confirmed female, let's look at your ventral shot. And right there is your epigastric furrow. Alright, this one here is a Poecilotheria pattersoni, the ghost ornamental, named Amy. Alright, T number 24. This one is not mine. This is a mature male Poecilotheria regalis, the Indian ornamental, that belongs to Codark 2. Link is doing great. And I'll show you the ones that I do own are two lovely females, Pandora and Zelda. Zelda I'm not going to disturb because she really might be gravid, but this one here is Pandora. Got my light so you can see what she looks like. Where is she? Yeah, she's over there. That's Pandora. And now Zelda. We have a sack. That's freaking awesome. My P. regalis Zelda is gonna be a mommy. Alright, at this point I'm not going to feed her at all. Just gonna leave her be and get some humidity in there. That is so awesome. That's a good treat. Anyways, back to the tour. Alright, so now we have some more pokies to show you. This one here is a male Poecilotheria rufulata, the red slate ornamental. And I'll show you my confirmed female. Here's Caitlin. She's my largest P. rufulata. She's around 6 inches. Maybe close to the 7-inch mark. Alright, some more pokies. That's the hanuma-villasimica we saw. Have a pair of Poecilotheria smithi, the yellow-backed ornamental. I have here Sabrina, who's a little sling that I think is going to be molting very soon because I noticed her that she was refusing food and is making a web bed. So it's very likely that she's just going to sit down on this web and start to molt out. Can't wait to see how big she's going to get. And here's Allison, my other P. smithi. This one is the female. We confirmed that when she molted. Alright, so I have a pair of Poecilotheria striata, the Mysore ornamental. This one here could be a suspect male because of his drabby colors. And this one here is Sora, who could be my suspect female, since she is a little bit more vibrantly colored than what he looks like. It's hard to see when it's in a deli container, but these specimens are really fast, so I don't want to disturb them too much. This pokey is probably one of my best looking ones so far. This is the Poecilotheria Safusca Highland, the Candy Highland Ornamental, who's a 3.5-inch female. Love the goldness on the legs, it's really remarkable looking. And not at all aggressive. This is also a female. And this is the last tea I'm going to feature in this particular video, is my Poecilotheria tigrina wesselii, the Wessel Tiger Ornamental. This is Tina, she's a 3.5–4-inch confirmed female. Looks very similar to the P. Miranda and P. formosa. So that takes care of all the old world species that I have. So I hope you enjoy this part, and stay tuned for all of the New World terrestrials and arboreals that make up like the majority of my collection. So I hope you enjoyed, everyone, and thanks for watching.